Family, I don't want to be fear-mongering back. It's time to keep on stocking up. This clip I'm going to put here, this tell you about November. We don't really know, but see, it's better to be prepared than not to be prepared. This video here, I do not own the copyrights for information purposes only. So stock up on the stuff, folks. Keep stocking up because it's going to come to that. It's going to come to that. Like I said, tomorrow I'm going to post one on all the stores that are being closed. As you closing down. A lot of stores are being closing down. So tomorrow I post a video on that. But today is on stocking on the food stuff. I keep saying over and over, stock up on the food stuff. All right, folks, I want to get a piece of lots of love.
Listen up, this is serious business. We're talking about the foods you need to have in your stockpile before November hits. I'm not talking nice to haves. I'm talking absolutely can't survive without. And believe me, if you don't take action now, you're going to be the one scrambling, wondering why you didn't listen. So grab a pen, make that shopping list, and get ready. Because we're starting with number 30. Number 30, instant mashed potatoes. Yup, instant mashed potatoes. Brands like Idahoan and Hungry Jack are your best friends here. You think you can live without them? Think again. When you're staring down an empty pantry with no fresh produce in sight, these babies will be your saving grace. They're lightweight, they last forever, and all you need is water. That's it. Just some hot water, and boom, you've got a filling, comforting meal. And let's not forget, they're packed with carbs. In a crisis, carbs are fuel, and you're going to need all the energy you can get. So don't just buy one box, buy 10. Trust me, when you're sitting down to a hot bowl of creamy mashed potatoes in the middle of chaos, you'll thank yourself. Number 29, peanut butter. Peanut butter, folks, listen carefully because this is non-negotiable. We're talking Jif, Skippy, or any brand that's packed with protein and healthy fats. Peanut butter is shelf-stable for months, if not longer, and it's one of the most calorie-dense foods you can store. Imagine this. When fresh meat is long gone and you're rationing out your canned goods, peanut butter will give you that punch of protein and energy you need to keep going. Slap it on crackers, mix it into oatmeal, or heck, just eat it straight from the jar. You think you can skip it? Wrong. Without peanut butter in your stockpile, you're setting yourself up for hunger pains and regret. And get this, during a crisis, people will trade anything for a jar of peanut butter. Stock up now before the shelves run dry, or you'll be the one missing out. Number 28, honey. Now, if you're thinking honey isn't a survival food, you've clearly never been in a real crisis. Honey, whether it's local, organic, or just plain old store brand, is liquid gold. And I'm not exaggerating here. Honey lasts forever. I'm not joking. You could open a jar 30 years from now, and it would still be good. This stuff doesn't spoil. And it's packed with natural sugars that give you a quick energy boost when you need it most. Not to mention, honey has antibacterial properties. That's right. If you're out of first aid supplies, you can use honey to treat cuts and wounds. Talk about multi-purpose. And hey, imagine adding a spoonful to that bland oatmeal or dry crackers. Suddenly, you've got a sweet, energy-packed snack that lifts your spirits and keeps you going. Don't be the one regretting this. You need to stock up on honey now, because once it's gone, it's gone. Number 27, rice. All right, listen to me very closely. Rice. I'm not just talking about any rice here. I'm talking about massive bags of white rice. Think Uncle Ben's, Mahatma, or even generic store brands in those 20-pound bags. You think you can get by without this staple? Wrong. Rice is survival food 101, people. It's shelf-stable for literally decades. And just 1 cup of dry rice can make up to 3 cups of cooked rice. That's enough to keep you going when the world feels like it's falling apart. Don't fool yourself into thinking you can live on fancy foods alone. When it's crunch time, you're going to need bulk food that lasts. Rice is packed with carbohydrates that will give you the energy to get through the toughest days. Mix it with canned veggies, throw in some of that ghee we talked about earlier, and suddenly you've got a meal that'll keep you on your feet. And let's not forget, in a crisis, rice will be more valuable than gold. Stock up now, before November hits, because trust me, once those shelves are empty, you'll be wishing you had 50 pounds of rice in your pantry. Number 26, vinegar. Here's a sleeper item you probably haven't even thought about. Vinegar. Yep, I'm talking about that jug of distilled white vinegar you see in the grocery store every time, but never think to grab. Heinz, Bragg's apple cider vinegar. It doesn't matter. Get your hands on it. Why? Because vinegar is a survival essential. This stuff isn't just for cooking. It's a disinfectant, a preservative, and a multi-use wonder liquid that could save you in more ways than you can imagine. Got dirty water? Vinegar can help purify it. Need to preserve vegetables when your fridge stops working? Vinegar to the rescue. Run out of cleaning supplies? Vinegar can sanitize surfaces and even help with food prep. You don't want to be the person left without this when things go south. And here's the kicker. It never goes bad. That's right. Vinegar can sit in your stockpile for years and still be as effective as the day you bought it. Grab those gallon jugs now, folks, because when supply chains falter, vinegar will be one of the first things to vanish. Number 25, dry yeast. Now here's one that's flying under the radar for most people. Dry yeast. Red Star, Fleischmann's, or whatever brand you can get your hands on. Trust me, in a survival situation, this tiny little packet could be the key to keeping your family fed. You see, with dry yeast, you can bake your own bread. Imagine the stores are closed, bread shelves are wiped clean, and you're sitting there with a giant bag of flour but no way to make anything out of it. That's where yeast comes in. This stuff lasts for months, even years if you freeze it. And it's your ticket to fresh homemade bread when everything else is gone. You think you'll be fine without it? Think again. When food supplies dry up and you're trying to stretch every last ingredient, baking bread with yeast will be a game changer. You're not just buying a pantry item, you're buying independence. Number 24, canned fruit. I'm talking about canned fruit. Dole, Del Monte, or your local store brand. It doesn't matter. As long as you're filling your cart with this sweet, life-saving goodness. You might think canned fruit is just a luxury, but in a survival situation, it's pure gold. When fresh fruit is gone and the grocery store produce section looks like a ghost town, canned fruit is going to be your only source of essential vitamins like vitamin C. And trust me, you're gonna need it. Ever heard of scurvy? That's what happens when you don't get enough vitamin C. Your gums bleed, your body weakens, and you're in trouble. Canned peaches, pineapple, pears, stock up now because they'll give you the sweetness, energy, and nutrition you need to keep going strong when everything else has run out. And guess what? These cans last for years. Think about it. A juicy, sweet fruit salad when you're in the middle of a food desert. Number 23, bouillon cubes. Now, here's one you probably haven't even thought about. Bouillon cubes. Knorr, Herbox, Better Than Bouillon, whatever brand you can find, just get it. These tiny cubes of concentrated flavor are going to be your best friend when all you've got left is plain rice and beans. Because let's face it, in a crisis, flavor is going to be in short supply. But with bouillon cubes, you can turn even the blandest meal into something you actually look forward to eating. Chicken bouillon, beef bouillon, it doesn't matter. These things are shelf stable. They take up zero space in your pantry, and they last for years. Plus, they're loaded with sodium, which, believe it or not, is crucial for maintaining your electrolyte balance when you're working hard or under stress. You think you'll be fine without flavor? Wrong. Bouillon cubes are the secret weapon that'll keep your meals from feeling like rations. Trust me, when you're eating a hearty, flavorful soup in the middle of chaos, you'll be glad you listened. Number 22, apple cider vinegar. Okay, if you thought regular vinegar was a must-have, let me blow your mind with apple cider vinegar. I'm talking Bragg's Organic or whatever brand you can find. It's a liquid miracle in a bottle. Not only can you use it for food preservation and cooking, but it's also a natural remedy for so many health issues. Got a sore throat in the middle of a crisis? Gargle with apple cider vinegar. Need to boost your immune system? Take a tablespoon a day mixed with water. This stuff is packed with nutrients and good-for-you acids that'll keep your body running when healthcare is a distant memory. And let's not forget, apple cider vinegar can last for years without spoiling. It's practically immortal. You can use it to pickle veggies, clean your counters, or even treat minor skin infections. This isn't just a food item, folks. It's a survival tool. And let me tell you, when things start to unravel, you're going to wish you had a couple of bottles tucked away in your pantry. Number 21, grits. Grits, folks. You heard me right. And I'm not just talking about any old brand. Go for Quaker or Bob's Red Mill. The stuff that's known for lasting forever in your pantry. Why grits? Because when everything else is gone, you're going to need food that's quick to cook, easy to store, and can keep you full. Grits are high in carbs, and that's what fuels your body when you're working hard or dealing with high-stress situations. They're shelf-stable for years, and all you need is a little water and heat to make them into a hot, comforting meal. Throw in some of that ghee we talked about earlier, maybe some canned meats, and you've got a meal that'll keep you going for hours. Grits are lightweight, don't take up much space, and best of all, they're cheap. But don't let the price fool you. These things could be the backbone of your survival.
Election alert. Election day is...
20. Coconut oil. Now let's talk about a survival superfood that you need to have. Coconut oil. And I'm not just talking about any brand. Go for organic, unrefined coconut oil from Nativa or Spectrum. This stuff isn't just for cooking. It's pure, long-lasting energy in a jar. Coconut oil has a shelf life of years. That's right, years. You can use it to cook, fry, or bake, but it doesn't stop there. Coconut oil is also a natural moisturizer, an antiseptic for minor cuts, and can even be used as fuel in a pinch. Plus, it's packed with healthy fats that will keep you full and fueled when other sources of fat run out. Imagine trying to survive on bland food with no fats to keep you energized. You'll hit a wall fast, but with coconut oil, you've got a versatile, calorie-dense, and long-lasting food source that'll get you through the toughest times. Number 19, powdered eggs. All right, this one is huge, powdered eggs. And if you haven't stocked up on these yet, you're already behind the curve. Brands like Augason Farms or Ova Easy make powdered eggs that are shelf-stable for up to 10 years. That's a decade of protein-packed meals sitting right in your pantry. When fresh eggs are a thing of the past and there's no refrigeration in sight, powdered eggs will be your go-to for quick, nutritious meals. Think about it. Eggs are a complete protein. You can scramble them, bake with them, or mix them into just about anything. No refrigeration, no spoilage, just add water and you've got instant eggs. Can you imagine the panic when fresh eggs are no longer available and you're sitting there with a canister of powdered gold? These things will be worth their weight in, well, eggs. Number 18, powdered cheese. All right, let's talk about something that's going to save your sanity in a crisis. Powdered cheese. Think Kraft, Hoosier Hill Farm, or Augason Farms. These powdered wonders last for years, and they turn boring meals into something you'll actually want to eat when times get tough. Imagine you've got your stockpile of pasta or rice, but it's bland, right? Bam! Add some powdered cheese, and suddenly you've got a meal that feels indulgent. This stuff is like survival gold. It's packed with fat and calories, and that means energy. Energy you're going to need when you're rationing every last bit of food in a crisis. And don't think you'll just be making mac and cheese. This stuff can go in soups, on top of veggies mixed into sauces. Trust me, a little cheesy flavor is going to go a long way when everything else tastes like cardboard. Number 17, instant coffee. Now let's get real for a second. Do you honestly think you're going to survive a crisis without coffee? If you're not stocking up on instant coffee, you're making a huge mistake. Whether it's Folgers, Nescafe, or your favorite local brand, instant coffee is an absolute must-have. Why? Because caffeine isn't just a luxury. It's a necessity when you're dealing with stress, fatigue, and long days. In a crisis, your body is going to need that boost, and instant coffee is the quickest way to get it. And here's the thing. Instant coffee lasts practically forever. You don't need a coffee maker. You don't need electricity, just some hot water, and boom, you've got a hot cup of energy to keep you going. And trust me, when things go south, people will be desperate for coffee. You'll be the one with the stash that people will trade anything for. Number 16, rolled oats. If you haven't stocked up on rolled oats yet, you're making a big mistake. Whether you prefer Quaker or Bob's Red Mill, rolled oats are a survival staple you can't overlook. These oats are shelf-stable, lightweight, and incredibly easy to store. More importantly, they're versatile. You can whip up a hot, satisfying breakfast with just a little water, or mix them into baked goods, pancakes, or even soups to thicken them up. Plus, rolled oats are a great source of fiber, which is essential for keeping your digestive system functioning properly, especially when you're relying on shelf-stable foods. They're also packed with important vitamins and minerals like manganese, magnesium, and phosphorus. In survival situations, keeping your energy levels steady is key, and oats are excellent for that. They provide slow-burning energy that will sustain you throughout the day. Number 15, canned meats. If you think you can get by without canned meats, if lentils aren't already part of your stockpile, it's time to fix that ASAP. Whether you go for green, red, or brown varieties, lentils are a nutrient-dense survival staple that should be high on your list. They cook faster than most dried beans, which means you save on both fuel and time. Two precious resources when things get tough. Brands like Bob's Red Mill or Goya are great options, or grab them in bulk from your local store. Packed with protein, fiber, and iron, lentils provide essential nutrition to keep you going when fresh foods are in short supply. Plus, they're versatile. You can throw them into soups, stews, or serve them with rice for a filling, balanced meal. Lentils have a long shelf life and require minimal storage space, making them ideal for your emergency food supply. Number 13, pasta. Pasta might seem basic, but it's one of the best foods to stockpile before November hits. Whether you prefer Barilla, Ronzoni, or store brands, pasta is incredibly shelf-stable and versatile. It's lightweight and stores easily, taking up minimal space in your pantry while offering maximum utility. All it takes is water and a bit of heat to turn dried pasta into a hearty meal that can be paired with canned goods, sauces, or even just a simple drizzle of olive oil. Pasta is also packed with carbohydrates, which provide much-needed energy during stressful situations. Plus, it's a comforting food that can help boost morale when times are tough. Don't think you'll get by on rice alone. Variety is key to avoiding food fatigue. Stock up on different pasta shapes and sizes to keep your meals interesting and ensure you have a reliable, calorie-dense staple that will last through the hard times. Number 12, canned vegetables. Don't even think about skipping canned vegetables when stockpiling. Whether you go for Green Giant, Del Monte, or your local store brand, canned veggies are a must-have for any emergency pantry. Fresh vegetables might become a rare luxury when supply chains falter, but having a variety of canned options ensures that you're still getting the essential vitamins and minerals your body needs to stay healthy. Canned green beans, corn, peas, and carrots are particularly versatile. You can eat them as a side dish, toss them into soups or stews, or mix them with pasta or rice to bulk up your meals. Canned vegetables have a long shelf life and store easily, so there's no excuse for not having them in your stockpile. If you want to avoid nutrient deficiencies and keep your meals balanced, make sure canned vegetables are at the top of your list. Stock up now before the shelves run dry. Number 11, salt. Listen up, folks. If you think salt isn't worth stockpiling, you're seriously underestimating one of the most essential items for survival. I'm talking about Morton's or any brand you can get your hands on. Just stock up on it now. Salt is more than just a flavor enhancer. It's a preservation tool, a health necessity, and let's face it, a lifeline when things go south. Imagine running out of salt in a long-term emergency. No preserving meats, no seasoning bland food, no electrolyte balance. Are you really going to risk that? Not to mention, salt never goes bad. You can store it for years, and it'll still be good to go. Whether you're curing meats, making a homemade saline solution for wounds, or simply preserving food when refrigeration isn't an option, salt is absolutely non-negotiable. If you don't stockpile salt now, you're setting yourself up for bland food and avoidable health problems. Number 10, powdered milk. Don't even think about skipping powdered milk in your prep. Brands like Nestle Nido or Augustin Farms should already be in your cart. If not, you're missing out on one of the most versatile and long-lasting dairy substitutes out there. When fresh milk is a distant memory, powdered milk is going to be your best friend. It has an insane shelf life, years, folks, and provides you with essential nutrients like calcium, protein, and vitamin D. Imagine trying to make a decent cup of coffee or cook creamy soups without milk. Or worse, imagine your kids not getting the nutrition they need when fresh dairy is off the table. Powdered milk rehydrates easily and can be used in just about anything. Baking, cooking, or even straight up drinking. If you're not stocking up on this, you're looking at a world of regret when things get tight.
Election season is here.
You think you can survive without protein-packed canned fish? Think again. Whether it's tuna, sardines, or mackerel from brands like Bumblebee, Chicken of the Sea, or King Oscar, canned fish is a survival powerhouse. Not only does it last for years, but it's also loaded with essential omega-3 fatty acids, protein, and other nutrients that your body will desperately need when fresh food is scarce. Picture this. You're in a full-blown crisis. Fresh protein is nowhere to be found, and you're living off canned beans and rice. You're going to wish you had a stash of canned fish to break the monotony and keep your body functioning at peak performance. Canned fish is versatile too. Mix it with pasta, rice, or crackers, or eat it straight out of the can for an instant energy boost. Number 8, canned chili. Hold up, if canned chili isn't already in your stockpile, you're making a huge mistake. We're talking about brands like Hormel or Wolf Brand here, people. This stuff is survival gold, packed with protein, fats, carbs, and a whole lot of flavor, all in one easy heat and eat can. Imagine a freezing night with no power, no fresh meat, and nothing but boring canned beans. Enter canned chili. It's hearty, it's filling, and it's going to feel like a gourmet meal when your options are running thin. And don't even get me started on its shelf life. This stuff lasts for years, ready and waiting for when you need a quick, energy-boosting meal that's already seasoned to perfection. You won't have time to whip up 5-star meals in a crisis, and canned chili is your ultimate quick fix. Number 7, Spam. Let's not kid ourselves here. Spam is the king of survival meats. I know what you're thinking, but if you think you can get by without it, you're dead wrong. Spam, Hormel's gift to the world, has been fueling people through wars, crises, and shortages for decades. This stuff lasts for years, and when fresh meat is nowhere to be found, you're going to be wishing you had a cabinet full of Spam. It's packed with protein, fat, and calories, all the essentials you need to survive. And here's the best part, it's versatile. You can fry it, mix it with eggs, throw it in a stew, or even eat it straight out of the can if it comes down to it. In a world where meat will be scarce, Spam will be the answer to your protein prayers. You think people won't be raiding the shelves for this? Think again. Stock up now, because once people start panic buying, Spam will disappear faster than you can say canned meat. Don't get left behind. Grab it now. Number 6, ghee. Let me tell you, if you're overlooking ghee in your stock, or Indian Head produce quality cornmeal that will be a game changer in your emergency pantry. Why? Because it's versatile, stores forever, and can turn into so many different meals. Pancakes, mush, fritters. Heck, you can even make your own tortillas if you've got the time. Cornmeal is high in carbs, which means it'll keep you energized when you're working through stressful times or rationing food. And let's not forget, cornmeal was a staple for centuries because it lasts, is easy to store, and keeps you full. Picture yourself out of bread, out of rice, out of options, and then you remember your stockpile of cornmeal. That's right, you just saved yourself from hunger. Number 3, canned beans. Let me tell you right now, if you don't have canned beans in your stockpile, you're seriously playing with fire. Goya, Bush's, or whatever brand you prefer, just get your hands on these miracle cans of survival fuel. These babies are packed with protein, fiber, and vital nutrients that are going to be in short supply when the fresh stuff runs out. Whether you're into black beans, pinto beans, or kidney beans, you can't go wrong. They're already cooked, which means you can eat them straight from the can if it comes down to it. No need for cooking fuel or water. Beans can bulk up any meal. Mix them with rice, throw them in a stew, or just eat them on their own. They last forever, don't take up much space, and will keep you satisfied when food options are slim. Number 2, ramen noodles. Now listen up, because if ramen noodles aren't already in your cart, you're making a huge mistake. We're talking about instant, cheap, and life-saving noodles from brands like Maruchan or Nissin. These little packs of salty goodness are the ultimate survival food. Why? Because, number 1, crackers. Crackers, you better believe it. And I'm not talking about your basic snack food here. I'm talking about survival essentials. Brands like Premium Saltines or Ritz should be flying into your stockpile right now. Why? Because crackers are versatile, shelf-stable, and a lifesaver when fresh bread is long gone. These crispy bites of goodness...
Okay, family, you hear it right here. Start stocking up. I'm not fear mongering, but it's gonna come to that. Tomorrow I'm gonna post a video of all the stores that's closing, all the stores that's gonna close. So you see the stores are closing, and you see now here is telling you by November, start talking about stuff, folks. He's gonna get to that. Until then, folks, I'm out of here. Peace out, lots of love.